A conference of this nature happened in Uganda in 1967. Many member countries ratified laws that have not been domesticated, hence the presence of inequalities in the political space.
So I got there, went to the meeting, I went to sit behind my flag. Then the chief of protocol of the country said, "Madam, don't sit there, that's for the minister." So I said, "I'm the minister." He was in shock, he didn't even believe it. So he went to my chief of protocol and said, "Is she telling the truth?" You can imagine. So he said, "Yes, that's why I'm here with her." But no attitude. So I think we need to work to break those barriers.
Kadaga asked men to support their female counterparts in political positions to achieve equitable development.
Well, the other thing I would add is that we should recruit men to help us. See, it's not just a women's issue. We should recruit men to understand and to support us in this campaign so that we can get there.
Kadaga was backed by Emilia Monjowa Lifaka, the chairperson of CPA, also the deputy speaker of the National Assembly of Cameroon.
But as women, we continue to work hard and strive to make sure that our numbers within the legislative bodies of our respective jurisdictions increase each parliamentary year.
In the same conference, a new chair of Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians will be elected, a position currently held by Dr. Dato Binti Ahmed, who called for an end to bullying in some parliaments.
Encourage you to take this opportunity to actively engage in the discussions, and this include the importance of mentoring for new parliamentarians, promoting women to senior portfolios and positions of leadership, empowering women as effective legislators in 21st century, and combating bullying and harassment in parliaments.
The 6th Triennial Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians Conference was on the theme CWP at 30 years, achievements and unfinished business, looking forward to the next 30 years. For UBC TV News, I am Philip Aguta.
Colorful event there, and of course the Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference officially starts on Thursday, and UBC TV will be there to bring you everything as it will unfold live on air and online, and of course in the comfort of your sitting rooms. In a related development, Makerere University Dons have asked Commonwealth parliamentary delegates to advocate for participatory democracy and mainly focus on regional rather than British centralized. Dr. Mohammed Chigundum Soke, a senior lecturer at Makerere University, believes regional democracy is a strategy of good governance.
The 64th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference has attracted over 1,000 dignitaries from across the Commonwealth nations.
So I think we are going to, just having that access in international limelight, it's going to be good for us.
This is the second time Uganda is host to the Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference. The Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference benchmarks on strategies, mainly of good governance.
This is not a stagnant issue. Democracy has got to keep growing. It doesn't have to stay at the level that it was at the beginning, like it was said and has to stand, it will stay. No.
Makerere University lecturers request Commonwealth delegates to champion strategies that advocate for regional democracy rather than British interests.
We are excited to have this conference here, and we just wish these people, the parliamentarians, the best time. But our appeal is that we should look at some of the themes with a focus. And we'll look at the different regions, we'll look at the different demands of the regions, what it takes. Should it be that the democracy that is practiced in Europe, in the United States, or in America, or in Asia, the same as that practiced in Africa? We can have a wider concept of democracy, but again, we can have certain issues that reach out to attend to the demands of the regions that they exist, but under one umbrella as Commonwealth.
Makerere University is the oldest learning institution that has nurtured high-profile people, including over 5 African presidents affiliated to the University College of London. The university has reasons to appreciate the values of the Commonwealth Conference.
And the men who have been organized in building Africa and beyond, many have gone through this university and they've been part of the Commonwealth, and they are great Commonwealth leaders. We cannot fail to mention people like Mwalimu Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, who was through Makerere University, and is the man who led Tanzania to independence and taking it through to be a united country. And he had his training here in Makerere. If you went to Kenya, Mwai Kibaki was a student here. Actually, his history is one of the first students to get a first-class degree in economics, and even had to come back to Makerere and teach, was a teaching staff.
Uganda has enormous culture and heritage that Makerere Dons believe delegates should tour for a more defined visit.
Why you need to come here is because this was the final destination of these martyrs who are royal pigs working in a palace of the king all the way in Munyonyo. Munyonyo is about 15 kilometers, and need to see the journey, the road to martyrdom, up to the final destination of this place. So when you have come to Uganda, we need to reach there, and we are so excited, especially to our delegation from the Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference is scheduled to last for a week. Susan Naong and Idris Lukwago reporting for UBC TV.
And we'll stay with the CPA momentarily, where Uganda has been praised for the good hospitality exhibited during the arrival and stay of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference delegates. The Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly of Cameroon, who also doubles as chairperson of the CPA, stated before delegates and media that that after an African mood was ignited by a traditional performance. Take a look.
Madam Speaker, I wish to thank you, the government and the people of Uganda, for hosting this conference. Not just hosting this conference, but hosting the conference in a very special way. You and your team have put everything in place to make us feel at home away from home. Since we arrived, we have been well looked after. The women in this room and those who are not inside this room but who are attending this conference have asked me, have delegated me to say, Madam Speaker, please convey our sincere thanks and gratitude to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Jeffrey.
And of course, it's known all over the world that Ugandans are the most hospitable people on planet Earth. Now, police has received a body of one Sarah Achenyi who died abroad where she had gone in search for job opportunities. And according to family members, Acheng was a maid working in Oman who unfortunately passed away in June 2019 under very unclear circumstances.
They should not go without passing through proper channels, registered companies. Also, even them, those who pass through registered companies, they have problems and they are not solved, but we can get some chance of the way of following their cases and we solve them. But
done at home, we are just there sitting, no digging, and people coming every day. Imagine, they want to see, they eat, no digging was already taken at place. They're just sitting there. waiting the body to come back. And now the situation is worse. We are in worse situation at home. Money, have no money. We can feed ourselves. No money can feed the children while we live there. So the situation was worse up to now. I'm talking here.
And of course, that story is related to the arrest of one Halima Biekwaso, who was arrested by the anti-corruption unit for recruiting and exporting labor to Oman illegally. Now, the arrest, of course, came after the parents of Sarah failed to get the body of their daughter. Moving on, Pan-African Movement, in conjunction with Julius Nyerere Leadership Institute, is set to hold a march in remembrance of Robert Mugabe, the former president of Zimbabwe, who is arguably one of Africa's profound liberation leaders. Now, the president, Pan-African Movement, says Mugabe was a significant hero in the liberation of Africa from foreign rule. Now, the march is scheduled to take place at Makerere University Freedom Square, as we hear in this story.
Last month, former Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe died at the age of 95. Remembered for his revolutionary background, Mugabe became an icon of liberation and a Pan-Africanist who dedicated his life to emancipation and empowerment of the people of Zimbabwe. It's against this background that the Pan-African Movement in Uganda has decided to celebrate his life in remembrance of his role in fighting white supremacy regime in his homeland.
There are those who celebrate that the man is dead and they call him a villain, but there are others like us who think he's a hero. And we think that he fought for the liberation of Africa, and we want to give honor where honor is due.
Here is a man, I repeat for emphasis purposes, that gave the African person the face and the definition of what it means to be yourself. You should not be described and seen in somebody's lenses. We are looking at Comrade Robert Mugabe as somebody who participated vigorously during the apartheid regime to liberate the South Africans, never mind what they are doing now.
In another development, Makerere University Department of Journalism and Mass Communication is set to rebrand its journalism courses. According to Dr. Adolf Mbaine, the rebranding is a response to the current communication gap in the market. The plans come as the department marks 30 years in service.
Very soon that we'll be able to run a short course in economics and business journalism, for example. The curriculum is already up. We also hope to begin work on trying to get a specific building structure for journalism and communication training here at the campus.
So the change to 4 new degree programs was partly industry-driven because we got feedback from our former students and the employers of our students, and they advised us to open up the current degree programs into more packages.
Among the rebranding plans include the establishment of a multimedia center, putting on air its radio, and putting in place short courses that enhance professionalism. Susan Naung and Idris Lukwago reporting for UBC TV.
Now moving on to the courts of law. Grade 1 Magistrate Court Mengo, sitting before Magistrate Joel Wegoye, has charged 4 suspects with 6 counts of murder and aggravated robbery. According to prosecution, the 4 are alleged to have participated in the kidnap and murder of Maria Najirinya Gateni and Ronald Chitaimbwa, who were killed last month.
Security was cited at Mengo Grade 1 Magistrate Court as the suspects in the gruesome murder of Najirinya Maria Gateni and Ronald Chitaimbwa were brought in to be charged. The 4 suspects were paraded before the Grade 1 Magistrate Joel Wegoye and charged with 6 counts of murder, aggravated robbery and kidnap, among others. The suspects include Kasolo Koporiam alias Aseno, Lubega Johnson alias Maneno, Kalyango Nasifu and Chiseka Hassan. However, they were not allowed to take plea, since this court has no jurisdictions to handle such criminal matters. According to prosecution, it is alleged that on the 28th of August 2019, within areas of Kampala and Mukono, the 4 accused persons and others still at large, with the malice aforethought, killed Nagirinya Gatenyi and Leonard Kijjanangoma.
Kigambibwa nti nga mulina ekigendererwa eky'okuba nga mutemula mwagenda mu maaso ne muwamba Nagirinya Gatenyi, mwagenda mu maaso n'okutta Kijjanangoma Ronald. Omusango gw'okutaano gwakubanga obubbi obwakkondo.
It's further alleged that the 4 accused persons at Nabisasiro Zone in Lubaga Division, Kampala District, forcefully kidnapped and murdered Nagirinya Gatenyi and Leonard Kijjanangoma before vanishing off with 294,000 shillings and mobile phones. The said counts are contrary to Section 243(1)(a), 188 and 189 and Section 286 in the Penal Code Act Cap 2009. The prosecution side, led by Macbeth, informed court that the investigations are still ongoing in the said matter, and she requested court for more time to complete them. The presiding magistrate, Joel Owegoye, adjourned the case to 27th September 2019 for mention on video conferencing. The accused persons have been remanded to Ruzila prisons. I'm Namamode Deborah, reporting for UBC.
Namamonde Deborah, thank you so much for that report there. Now on to matters pertaining to environmental conservation, but this time it is rather negative because charcoal production and bush clearing for livestock farming is eating up the forest cover in Nakasongola district. The activity, which has devastated big chunks of land there, is quickly turning the area into a desert. Our environmental correspondent has it in the area and filed this report.
The unplanned felling of trees for charcoal production is quickly turning big parts of Nakasongola area into a desert. Both charcoal dealers and livestock farmers have relentlessly cut all the trees here, reducing the traditional woodland of Midera to bare surface. The devastating impact of deforestation in this area is apparently inevitable, with the soils here no longer being able to support vegetation growth. Agriculturalists are already at the verge of collapse.
We had the sound, then after about 10 minutes, the herdsman came and told me that the animals have been hit by the thunder. So there are about 5 incidents which I have so far heard from such incidents. But we don't know the cause and we don't know what to do.
Government and international development partners like UNDP are concerned.
They tried to establish grass from seed and vegetatively, but the farmers were saying that these germinated, but they did not stand the attack from the termites.
What we have just experienced is what I would call an extremely denuded area within the cattle corridor. And there are several factors that come into play. The first is that we need to look at the policy environment that leads to a denudation of that level. What is it that we are not doing in terms of policy? What is it in terms of coordination between the various ministries, Ministry of Water and Environment, Ministry of Agriculture, the National Agricultural Research Organization, and other institutions to ensure that we work together to address the issues that we have seen?
Unless there is a deliberate attempt at reversing this trend, the thirsty soils of Nakasongola may soon turn into desert. Pathias Karikona and Lorraine Masika Kazimoto reporting from Nakasongola for UBC News.
Now, the World Association of Newspapers and News Publishers, WANIFRA, has concluded with its coaching of women in the media today, capping it with a graduation and issuance of certificates. In attendance, the Minister for General Duties, Mary Karoro Okruti, who witnessed the appointment of leaders among the trainees, including reporters and editors from various media houses.
25 women journalists who have been on intensive coaching on newsroom management and growth have crowned their studies with a graduation at Imperial Hotel, Kampala. In her speech to the trainees, Minister for General Duties, Honorable Mary Karoro Okruti, encouraged them to promote what they learned at their respective stations and the media industry in general.
You have learned for the benefit of your media house and even for yourself. Because when you walk out here, you wear very proudly and it's a badge of honor what you have learned here, because people will look at you, saying they are calling themselves winners. Are they winners?
The beneficiaries appreciated the Norwegian government, which sponsored the whole exercise.
Growth in terms of channels, but there's also been growth in terms of media presence, and there's also a lot more freedom.
We'll take a very short break, but when we return, we'll be looking at what's happening in the world of business.
With a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda, we created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Have you completed Senior 4 or Senior 6 and you want to do a 2-year certificate or a diploma course? Makerere Institute for Social Development, an affiliate to Makerere Business School, offers programs in accounting and finance, business administration, procurement and supplies management, social work and social administration, information technology, counseling and guidance, human resource, project planning and management, journalism, secretarial studies, and many others. We are located on Sir Apollo Kegwa Road, next to Oilcom Petrol Station, with a UBTEP Center number.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pain Arena. Introducing on the right corner, Mr. Action, the reigning heavyweight champion in the ring against
the Headache, the #1 contender. And the bell rings.
Headache charges forward with a steady right and a left hook. Action dodges. He misses out with an inch. Wait a minute. Mr. Action launches back with a kick. The final blow. He is out.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Does heartburn stop you from eating the things you love? Eating too fast, alcohol or spicy food can trigger acidity, heartburn, indigestion or flatulence. Your best bet is Better Cool. Better Cool works fast to relieve acidity, heartburn and indigestion. Trust Better Cool. Enjoy life.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Measles and rubella outbreaks are still being reported in some districts in Uganda, putting the lives of our children at risk. In order to stop these outbreaks and maintain a polio-free Uganda, the Ministry of Health has planned a national measles, rubella and polio immunization campaign for all children under 15 years of age on 16th to 20th October 2019, starting 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. All vaccines are safe, effective, and free. Parents and caretakers are hereby asked to take all children under 15 years of age for immunization at the nearest health facility or immunization post. Ministry of Health also calls upon everybody to report any child with a fever and generalized skin rash to the nearest health facility or health worker immediately. This could be measles or rubella. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from World.
Paying taxes is a civic duty.
This September is all about you. URA has prepared this month to identify, recognize, and celebrate compliant small to medium enterprises, SMEs. Come and access a number of activities lined up from the 25th to 27th September at Kolo Independence Grounds, featuring the Bombaya Business Summit on SME business success. That's not all. There will be a host of free services like yellow fever vaccination, an employment hub with jobs and free career guidance, instant business registration, and issuance of driving permits. These activities will run daily from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Entrance is free. For more information, email info@ura.go.ug or visit our website www.ura.go.ug, Facebook at URA page, and Twitter at URA Uganda. Developing Uganda together.
Welcome back. Let's have a look now at what's happening in the world of business. And Uganda Investment Authority has released the 2018-2019 performance report, highlighting an increase in licensed companies. Acting Director General, Uganda Investment Authority, Lawrence Byensi, says the body issued out 286 licensed projects. And as we hear in this report, most of these were in construction, manufacturing, and agricultural sectors.
Uganda Investment Authority's financial year 2018-2019 recorded 286 licensed companies, with construction taking the lead, followed by manufacturing and agriculture. Acting Director General UIA Lawrence Byensi gives a total breakdown of performance in the sectors.
The total proposed investment or estimated investment from all these 286 companies, we hope they will invest $1.3 billion. Now, it is also important, because this is a common asked question, when we break them between foreign direct investment and domestic direct investment. So under that categorization, it is clear again that foreign investors are going to invest or are proposing to invest 75%.
Byensi explains the trend of licensed projects in the recent 5 years from 2014 to 2019, where 2016-2017 financial year was at the peak with 512.
In 2014-15, we licensed 327 projects. The following year, 15-16, 353 projects. And then in 16-17, which was our peak, we licensed 512 projects. 17-18, it was a drop of, we licensed 247.
Sources of investments were from 5 countries, with China leading with 45%, Uganda 24%, Lebanon 5%, followed by India and United Arab Emirates.
Look at this investment in terms of value. Again, it shows a different picture. Foreign investors will invest 31% of the total. And joint ventures, this time number one, they have 58% of the total investment. And local, that is domestic investors who are Ugandans, will invest 11%.
In employment, manufacturing employed 35.5%, transport, storage and communication 35.2%, followed by construction. The body registered a number of investment achievements, monitored 273 projects with actual investment value of US $2.8 billion, and employed 41,652 people, licensed 286 projects, among others. Mutoni Hilda, UBC.
Sports news now, and we begin with football, where Virgil van Dijk threatens to eclipse fellow European stars Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi to lift FIFA's The Best Player Award on Monday to set himself up as favourite for this year's Ballon d'Or. Van Dijk, Ronaldo and Messi are the three men's finalists for the Best Player Award, with a winner to be announced on Monday night in a star-studded ceremony in Milan's famous opera house La Scala. Now, the towering Dutch defender helped Liverpool to the Champions League trophy last season and is well positioned, having already won the UEFA Player of the Year award. Since the Best Award was created in 2016, the winner has gone on to also lift the coveted Ballon d'Or, which will be unveiled on December the 2nd. Real Madrid and Croatia midfielder Luka Modric won both awards last year to end Ronaldo and Messi's 10-year domination. In the past 3 years, the podiums for both awards have been almost identical, apart from Egyptian Mohamed Salah's third place in the Best in 2018, a spot occupied by France's Antoine Griezmann in the Ballon d'Or. And on to chess, where the Chess Parents and Guardians Association Youth Championship is nearing its tail end. Now, this new initiative that is a reserve for schools started with regional qualifiers and will climax with a grand final in Kampala. Here is our sports reporter, John Barnes-Sentamo.
During its latest stop, the Chess Parents and Guardians Association Youth Championship has been in Tumbarara for the Western Region qualifier at Ntare School.
Yes, we've had some limitations, especially in the ability of children to hold calmness. And this comes from the fact that due to timing, they've just gone back to school, they've got some exams, so we didn't get all the numbers we wanted. But even with that, what is amazing is that we actually managed to get about 170 children playing in this tournament. So this is very good. This is a first in this region, and as CPJ, this is the first time we're here. So we're realizing our goal, which goal is to bring chess to the wider community of children. And chess should be played in every region.
Very successful during his playing days and now great statesman, Olympian engineer Joseph Kamu offered advice to the youth on how to use the tenets chess provides for a better life.
Chess has helped me to become disciplined, first and foremost. You know, when you are going to start a game, you shake hands. When you finish, whether you win or lose, you shake hands. And when you are playing, you don't make noise.
In the action, Devine Kalunji of Mbarara Preparatory was rewarded for being youngest player at the qualifier. Organizers believe had many players with potential.
The region has been blessed with the event, first of all, and we are getting to realize that there is talent even this side. And many kids are coming up. It even surprised me that they even had a 7-year-old who was playing. But if they keep up playing, having friendlies against each other, I believe they will improve greatly.
Ntare School boasts the under-18 boys category with Marvin Twina Masiko, Collins Alinda and Benjamin Nuemurisa on the podium.
Chess is a good game, and it's helping the development of great thinkers in Uganda, most probably here in Western Uganda.
I like chess because chess is a thinking game. It sharpens my mind and it sharpens my brain. So that's why I love it.
Others are rewarded for excellence were Caroline Chasimide, Matthias Nwamanya, Ernest Muhindo, Jean Ampa, Solomon Mugasa, Melissa Natasha, and Luca Arinaitwe. The championship attracted more than 160 players from 6 schools, including Mbarara High, Mbarara Preparatory, Kabateraina Memorial, Uganda Matters Primary, and Windows School Mbarara. The best 3 from each category will represent a Western region at the CPA Youth Championship Final in Kampala later this year. John Barnes-Sentamo reporting.
And lastly, Uganda continues to show prowess at the ongoing Sekafa Under-20 Championships. The Hippos thumped Djibouti 5-1 in the one-sided game. Meanwhile, professional boxing returns this Friday.
Uganda has defeated Djibouti 5-1 in the ongoing Under-20 Sekafa Challenge Cup. The games that are being played in Gulu district, northern Uganda, saw the Hippos dominate the entire game, leaving the visitors with no chance to play. Goals from Serada Stephen in the 26th minute and the 52nd minute, plus Stephen Bogere, Ismail Mugulusi and Justin Opilo proved enough for the Hippos to thump Djibouti.
This has been our second hurdle. Our second hurdle has been a bit simple. It hasn't been so high. So we managed to skip it very, very smoothly. But I think with all due respect to the coach, whoever coach loses with a big margin like that, it really shocks you. So I couldn't, this is football, but I couldn't wish it to be to me. So that is football. I'd like to thank mainly my boys because we went back to the drawing board. We worked everything because we tried to screen and see and saw that our problem was scoring.
And in boxing, professional boxing bouts return after months of amateur action. Uganda's Abdu Sebute is to take on Tanzania's Mohamed Swedi, fighting for the Eastern Central African Boxing Union Super Flyweight belt at the MTN Arena Lugogo this Friday. Unlike before, Sebute has taken training to the streets of Kampala, showing skills and what he can do best. He says he has been tried and tested on the local scene, and indeed vying for the regional belt has been his dream.
Training inkoze mala sitalina kyenneetaaga kirala kyonna ninze bulinzi kulwana.
The other fight on the day, Uganda's Musa Ntege awaits his Eastern Central Boxing Union title try against Congolese Paul Kamatha in cruiserweight category. John Selunjoji is the other fighter facing Juma Waiswa. Ken Luchamzi faces Julius Imponge, while Falicho Magala fights Joali Kalenzi.
Amon, with those stories, of course, ending that segment of sports, and we've almost come to the end of this bulletin. But before we leave you, let's have a reminder of our top stories. The Lokodo Bill. Speaker of Parliament Rebecca Kadaga asks men to support women in leadership positions. Pan-African movement to celebrate Robert Mugabe. In pursuit of justice, Nagirinya murder suspects remanded to Luzira prison. And in sports, Van Dijk threatens Ronaldo, Messi in world's best. It's exactly 11 minutes to the hour of 11 here in the studios of UBC TV. That brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Mugalu Mohammed, and I am Edward Kijjanangoma, wishing you a blessed night. See you tomorrow.
Start your week with the best entertainment.